So right now this is the very basic application of eyeshadows. So necessarily two colors, not including the transition color. So what I'm going to show you now as a continual process is how to build up on this makeup, and that would include any kind of other makeup that you'd want to use, which is great for functions such as weddings, cocktail parties, any kind of build up. Now this kind of a look works really well when it's almost a no makeup or as minimal as possible eyeshadow application looks, but you can continue to build up, particularly in color frames like this one. So I'm just going to show you how you can apply colors to intensify this look slowly, and also progressively how to use eyeshadows in the waterline and give the waterline intensity. So to build up, I'm going to keep with the family of colors, largely browns, plums, rusts. So I'm going to start using colors that are slightly deeper and build on this. So to begin with, if you remember the earlier color I used, it was this one. It was a warm brown. Now to continue, and remember that at each stage of this makeup, it is still a complete look. You can apply a mascara and liner and use that as a complete look. Now for the beginning of the build up, I'm going to use the warmer brown underneath her lower lash line. Again, no shape in particular, just casting a gentle shadow. And you'll notice that once this is done, it creates a different effect because the eye becomes more rounded, more definite, and the bottom lash line has more definition with this step. And if you want to stop the makeup at this point and apply a liner or mascara also, you could. It would still be a completed makeup look. So just adding a hint of shadow under the lower lash line. Now you'll be able to see the difference between both the eyes. This has more of a contour, whereas this is more flat because of not having depth underneath. I'm just going to do this on this eye as well, using a smudger brush or a pencil brush. Now this is a pencil brush, and it has a tapered, very tight tapered head, and this is ideal for reaching small places on the eyes, like under the lash line. Great for smudging and also creating these very specific shadows. Work from under the lash line, under the lashes even. So now if you notice, the eyes are fully wrapped with a matte product that gives it more definition. Now, like I said before, if you wish to stop at this point of the makeup and use a mascara or liner, you could. But I'm going to add more intensity. Now, if you didn't have a liner and you didn't want to use a liner, but you wanted to add more intensity to the lashes, again, same theory, transition color and then a deeper color. Now I'm using an angular brush which has got a firm synthetic bristles. Now this is ideal brush to use for placement. So you go from underneath the lashes and literally place the color where you would like to see it. So I'm placing it like a line underneath her lower lashes, and not going all the way because I will be using the smudging or the pencil brush to soften this off as well. So basically what I'm doing is not only adding shape, I'm adding more depth as well. Using the brush that I used earlier, the pencil brush. Now if you take a close look, I will not be going straight into that product. Instead, I will simply smudge the line that is here between the darker color and the lighter color, so the intensity remains but still looks very diffused. So basically, to add intensity, I'm using a synthetic angled brush and literally placing the color underneath her lashes on the lower lash line. Use the angle of the brush to softly place the color, but very firmly too. If you notice now, I'm holding the brush closer to the head because I want the control. I don't want the brush to go flying across her eyes. So when you're placing something very specifically, make sure you hold the brush closer to the head or the bristles. So once you've placed the color, very strategically, using the pencil brush, smudge. Now to smudge, don't ever go in straight all over the color that you applied. Instead, just catch the edges, literally from here, so you can smooth off the edges and not remove the color, so to speak. All you're doing is diffusing it, not removing the color. Again, if you notice, I'm holding quite close to the tip, so I have control and I'm not blending very loosely. This is a very specific blending in a very small area. So be careful. So you have the color, but you still have a beautiful diffused eyeshadow. Now this will set the stage for your smoky eye learning, because smoky eye is all about blending. If you'd like to intensify the upper lash line as well, use the angle brush because this is ideal for placement. So unlike a stark eyeliner, this will give you a more diffused effect. You place the eyeshadow of your choice very close to the lash line. And using the smudger brush. Now, as I said earlier, don't go over the line, just go above it where it meets the other eyeshadow. So you're literally taking off the edge, you're diffusing the edge, not the eyeshadow itself. So that's your basic use of eyeshadow to give it a more smudged and intense effect around the waterline. So just to take you through this again, use the angle of the brush to precisely place the deeper eyeshadow. Now using the smudging or pencil brush, literally just go over the top of the line to diffuse it. Now just to finish off, because there is a bit of darkness around the eyes, take the deeper color with the blending brush, just a touch of it, not really to change the color, and kind of mix in the intensity at the corners, just a little bit, not very deliberate amount of too much plum, just to give it the same kind of intensity at the very corners where the eyeliner meets the crease. So this is a slight build up from the natural makeup. And to complete, of course, since we're not trying to achieve a very deep color of any sort, I'm using a gentle brown liner just in the waterline, again not too dark, just to remove the flesh tone from there. So this is largely a eyeshadow look and less of a liner look. There's hardly any liner, it's just to tie the look together. And of course, it can be treated as a complete look, finished off with mascara. And you'll still see that it's quite natural, but for the intensity around the eyes. So these are all basic techniques on how you can slowly begin to build up your eye makeup using eyeshadows. Just practice the use of brushes, because that really is the key in these kind of looks, and it's all about blending and placement. Eyeshadow is all about that. And the minute you get a hang of it, you can play with the looks any way you want and use as many shadows as you want to create the effects that you would like in an eye makeup.